Hey, welcome once again to this special segment on the Stiff Culture podcast known as The Perspective with L. On this segment, we talk about anything news, trendy matters, social life, and anything that has to teach you and I a lesson and think about deep thought. Hey, stick with me as we go into this conversation. I'll be right back. So let's go into it. Now, I believe that most of us have heard about the recent assassination or shooting of Charlie Kirk a few days ago in the US. This story has brought me to a certain point of deep reflection. It has brought my mind to a lot of things, even realizing the fact that he is not that old, he is very young. Has really shaken me, and I believe that whatever I'm about to share with you would also be a lesson to you, and you take something out of the story. So, Charlie Kirk, one of the conservatives known in the US and popularly known for his outspoken religious statement and his popular talk show that has garnered a lot of numbers, especially for the Republican Party. Charlie was just 31. He would have turned 32 in October. Unfortunately, he was taken away. But then, what have I learned from the short life of this famous person or this guy? Charlie started Turning Point USA, which is his program back on campus that has created a lot of numbers or social numbers. University students across America or the USA, for the Republican Party. And some of his controversial statements has also given him some limelight. I'm not going to go into the political controversies and all these theories that are coming up. That's not my business. But then, the question I asked myself, what have I done in my short time on earth? Because there is nothing this guy can do anymore now that he's passed. And this is a scary thing to think about. One thing that came to me, I was just going about my usual day, and then when I heard the story, the first thing that came to mind was, what would he be remembered for? Who has he been in society? And this is something that I realized, that people who make so much impact don't live for very long times. Not everybody though, but usually that's the trend we see. Even Jesus Christ in the Bible lived for just 33 years. And the things he did 2,000 years over is still being remembered today because of the impact he has had on the earth. So this guy, people are saying he's a martyr for his beliefs and all that. It could be true, but then I've come to really respect nature and how it defines a person. You have to do so much in so little time. This is me now. I believe this is what I have learned from it. Do your best you can. Do the best that you can in this short time, because you don't know when you will go. I mean, you shouldn't be afraid of death. Now that I think of it, we shouldn't be afraid of death anymore. So far as you know that you have laid a good foundation, you have made impact. It doesn't matter how long you live on this earth. It doesn't matter at all. Charlie wrote a book at 18. I mean, was it 18? No, he started Turning Point at 18. He wrote a book. He wrote 2 books actually before he was 25. This is something that you wouldn't find in my setting or in Ghana easily. It is not something you easily find. A young person that age who is into politics, who is into media, does this and does that. You see, there is this notion that bounds young people in a certain age range not to do exploit. Thank God, because of social media and the internet, now we are exposed to a lot of things and younger people are being exposed. But unfortunately, the younger ones today who are exposed to some of these things are rather not using it for beneficial or things that will bring impact to their own lives. Unfortunately, you see young kids, younger people who are in their primes, who must be doing things that will bring them a good name. You see them on social media insulting elderly people, talking about the president, ministers of state, and all that. Meanwhile, they don't even know what goes on in some of these offices or even in those positions of power. They don't know. But then because we have the opportunity of being on the internet and all that, we feel that we can just do anything we like. But that should have rather been the best opportunity for us to make impact. You see, there are some few people that we know that they've become popular because of TV shows and all that, even in Ghana here. And some have made something good out of it for themselves. But then, the majority, what impact are we making? What impact are we making on society? This guy has done so much in 31 years. From the age of 18 to he was 30, 31, he has done so much. And believe you me, if he had lived a bit longer, I am very sure he would have stood for president in the US. I'm very sure he would have stood and possibly win and become a president, because he made himself known. And there's one thing that I believe placed him in that position, was the fact that he stood on his standards. He believed in his narrative and he stood by his narratives, never changed whatsoever. And some of these things are things that younger ones, I mean, we are failing to acknowledge, standing on our beliefs. And because of that, the older people do not regard us in a certain way because of the way we act. I believe there was a time I remember one former minister, Katie Hammond, said something about the youth, and he was talking about they being lazy and coconut head or something. You see, I wouldn't say he is completely right, but then it is based on what we have portrayed to these older people, for them to think that we are not vibrant, we don't take initiatives because we feel that we are entitled, everything must come easy to us and all that. For some people it may be, But it doesn't mean it is so for everyone. No, it can't be so for everyone. So you should know your values. Stick to your values. And let those values speak for you. And make a very great impact in your time or in your generation. Because this guy, I know that he's going to be remembered for a very long time because of his beliefs and some of the things he says. So, my brother and my sister, what are we learning from this guy's life? What are we taking from this? Are we going to still stick with the mindset of, oh, we are still young, we still have time? Or we are going to take chances, no matter how small it is, and make an impact in every area that we find ourselves in? I believe this will help all of us, and it will even make us greater people, physically, mentally, and even socially. So, think about this. Share your comments and your thoughts in the comment section below. And let's have an interactive after session and share ideas as young people. Stay tuned to this segment or this podcast, The Perspective with L. I'll catch you another time. See ya.